Hey, Chris here. Today I want to talk about shopping portals and why you should be using them now. So, just want to hit on a couple of specific ones, give you my experience, and again, let you know why you need to start using them as soon as possible. If you're like me, I'm assuming you probably do quite a bit of online shopping. I would say probably 99% of the bags I've had a chance to look at and review, I have purchased online. So why not use a shopping portal in the process? So just a few things I want to cover very quickly. Number one, how easy are they to use? Number two, what do you get in return? And the last one is just some different options. So let's start with ease of use. Actually, very, very simple to use a shopping portal. Basically, if you're going to pick up a new bag, say I wanted to pick up a bag from eBags, actually you start at the shopping portal of your choice. For example, if I'm an Advantage of the American Airlines Advantage loyalty program, then they do have a shopping portal. So you go to their landing page, make sure you're signed in, and you type in the name of the store in the search bar. When the store comes up, again, you just click on the store. There's a little click through button, and it basically tells you that you're about to start a session with eBags. So once you click through and make your purchase, then you'll be rewarded depending on what that company's offering at the time. And I like to mention eBags. Number one, I'm a huge fan of eBags, but they consistently offer quite a bit of return on the dollar spent. Typically, they're going to give you 5 points or miles per dollar spent, but normally they're even going to give you 7, 10, or 15 depending on if they're running any kind of promotion during that period of time. So basically, you're just making a few extra clicks to get to the actual site, and as long as you're making a purchase, you're going to get a return as long as you meet the requirements upon that purchase. And typically, again, very simple to go through the process. If anything, maybe adds another 30 seconds to your shopping experience. So again, one of the main reasons I recommend doing it, you get a return, but it's very quick and simple to get through. The second thing is, what do you get in return? And a lot of times it depends on the actual shopping portal that you're going through. Again, I found best return is off of some of the airlines shopping portals, so I'm trying to, some form or fashion, get those miles or points back in return. So again, once I click through, I get X amount of miles or points, and those are deposited into my loyalty point program account. The other option is if you're doing it for cash back, and there's quite a few cashback websites out there. Probably the biggest and most well known is what was formerly known as Ebates, and they recently updated their name to Rakuten, something to that effect. So if nothing else, I definitely feel like everyone should be using the cashback websites because, again, very quick and easy to get through some of these. And what are some different options? Of course, the main one we think about is the online shopping experience, using these portals when you're wanting to shop online. But just a couple things I want to mention. I've actually used these, again, shopping online, but doing in-store pickup. So 2 stores that I've used this quite a bit is Walmart and Home Depot. For example, recently I had to pick up a new weed eater to do some yard work. So very easy just to click through, pick my weed eater out, and then, again, do the in-store pickup. So within an hour or so, got an email saying my merchandise was ready, and at any point after that, I could go pick it up. So very quick and easy to do that as well. Again, Walmart's a big one too. You know, you find some kind of merchandise or item, go through their online process, and again, you're getting that return back in points or cash back. So absolutely love that. And what I've found more recently is, I know my wife had a quick trip recently to where she had to book through Marriott. And we even found Marriott on some of the portals that you could go through, and did not realize that until recently. So always check and see if your store is part of whatever program you're using, because it's a good possibility that it is. But if not, at least you know, and you can just do that normal shopping online like you typically do. So again, very quick and easy to do most of these shopping portals. You're going to get either cash back or some kind of point or mile. And then, make sure you're looking at all your options, whether in-store pickup or online. And 2 other things that I found associated with loyalty programs are going to be dining programs, which don't necessarily want to go too in-depth in that, but again, going to certain restaurants, as long as it's attached to a card, is going to get you some points. I've seen loyalty programs attached to gas stations recently, and even some survey type programs out there that if you complete so many surveys, they're going to give you some points or miles or something to that effect. So next, what I want to touch on is just give you some quick numbers about my experience using these shopping portals. To finish up, I did want to share my experience using shopping portals. One thing I want to mention is that I think it's always important to compare, especially if you have 2 or 3 that you do like to use, to see which one is currently giving you the best return on your money. There are websites out there that do let you compare, and one I like using is called evrewards.com, and I'll link that in the description below. I'm not an affiliate with the link or the website, but I have found it useful in the past, again, just to compare to see which portal is currently doing the best return on my money spent. So I do have 3 primary shopping portals I like to use. So the first one I want to mention is the American Airlines Advantage shopping portal. Since I began using this portal, I have gained almost 25,000 American Airline miles. So what could I possibly use these miles for? So currently what I could do is book a round-trip U.S. domestic flight. Or I could book a one-way U.S. to Europe flight during their off-peak season, which usually begins sometime in November. And those off-peak, again, U.S. to Europe flights usually cost around 22,500 American Airline miles, plus whatever surcharges or fuel charges that the specific airline might have. Still great value in both of those options. With the American Airlines program, I found it very, very easy to accumulate a lot of miles in just really a short amount of time. So the second shopping portal that I found great value in is the Southwest Rapid Rewards shopping portal. And I currently have around 7,000 points or miles that I've accumulated through their shopping portal. And just looking at some different things with Southwest, and a lot of times they use the dynamic, or I should say they always use the dynamic pricing scale where, you know, depending on how much they're charging is how many points you're going to use for booking an award flight. But just looking at some dates in September to, say, go from Atlanta to Chicago, because I'm a huge baseball fan, and I've been to Wrigley Field, but I'd love to go back someday soon. So looking at some dates in September, I think I was looking at the 14th through the 17th, just a nice long weekend. And currently they're charging approximately 6,800 Southwest Rapid Reward miles / points for a round trip from Atlanta. So again, great value there. And even if I'm only saving $100 or $150, that's huge to me and definitely worth the effort of using a shopping portal. So the last shopping portal I want to mention, again, we talked about this earlier, is just what we used to know as Ebates, but is now the Rakuten website. And to me, this is minimum that most people need to use. Again, just because getting cash back is excellent if all you have to do is click through kind of like a starting website to get to your purchase. So since I have been using this program, and this is one I've used the longest, but I just don't use it as frequent anymore because my, I guess, goals have changed a little bit. But I've earned almost $180 through that cash back. So again, to me, definitely worth the effort to go. And even if it's just a few dollars here and there, I do think they do require you have to have at least $5 per quarter to get a check. But if you do use it quite often, to me that would add up and you would at least be getting that back using that website. So again, would love to hear your take on this. Do you use shopping portals? If so, what's your experience? Do you have a favorite? And I guess that's one thing I wanted to touch on very quickly is that just because I use these, your goals are definitely going to be different. So I would see if there's specific loyalty programs, whether it's Delta, United Airlines is another one that I've heard is very easy to earn miles through their shopping portal. They even have an app that you can use to really accumulate some United miles very quickly. Again, just not one that I use often, but did want to mention that as well. Even I believe hotels have some of these similar type shopping portals that you could possibly use. So again, would love to hear your experience. Do you use them? If so, which one do you like? And if you have a huge point balance because you're using this, again, would love to hear that. And the last thing I guess I want to mention is that a lot of times during the holidays, we do have Father's Day coming up. They're going to run specific promotions to where if you spend, say, $150, you might get an extra 300 miles or points or 500 points. So a lot of times that's how I've accumulated a lot. Number one, I'll sign up for emails so I'm alerted when specific stores are giving extra miles or points. And then also when there's some promotions to get extra miles, I'll try to take advantage of the shopping portals at that point. So as always, thank you so much for taking time to watch. Please like, subscribe, and leave those comments. Again, thank you so much.